Watch fans, today we're going to be looking at a few pieces that a gentleman should have in his closet. Stay tuned. So as we mature, we matriculate through life, we absolutely want to have that chance to reach the finer things in life. As we reach each of those levels and steps, it's imperative that we have certain things that are going to be inside of our wardrobe that just speak a little bit for us before we even open our mouths to have a conversation. So, one of the things that I was actually taught and that we should all know is that there's certain suits that a man should have in his closet. And out of those suits, you can actually do five and come up with 75 different suits from just those five suits when you work them in combinations. Well, today we're going to be looking at four watches in four different stages or levels of price that you can actually use to work with everything in your wardrobe that will stand out and actually gives a beautiful statement about you as a person before you even start your interview or start your working process. These are the pieces that you always take to the business table. Years ago, I remember first training at Rolex, and one of the things that I heard from one of the gentlemen who had actually been a former VP for service merchandise, for those who are old enough to even remember what that is, he said, you leave the Porsche in the parking lot, but you take the Rolex to the business table. That is one of those things that always stuck with me. It was kind of like when my grandfather told me that you always judge a man by his watch and his shoes. Those are all true statements and all things that we can always ingrain and say, hey, when I make my first impression, what kind of statement is it that I am trying to make? So these four watches are all going to have a few things that are similar or in common. However, they're going to be different and represent different stages of our lives or different financial incomes or bases of where we are. None of them matter because they all stand out in each category. So it doesn't matter if you're trying to stay within a certain place. It speaks and gives levels or values to who you are, and it gives that perfect upgrade to your suit or to the presentation that you are as a person. So these four watches we're going to look at all have in common that they are black and blue. Why black and blue? When we look at certain colors in the wheel spectrum, certain colors just look fantastic together. They actually give a richer point of view. They actually give you that ambiance of saying that this person is actually interested and cares about how they look and how they carry themselves. We'll start off with the TAG Heuer. TAG Heuer actually did the black and blue theme right after Rolex released their black and blue Batman GMT. So TAG Heuer created their own version of it. I love that they did that because the CEO at that time, who was just taking over for TAG Heuer, realized that TAG Heuer had gotten to a price range that they should not be, and he was determined to get them right back where they should so that they could continue to service the client that was inside of that $2,000 to $6,000 budget. And when they did so, they absolutely just covered their market space again and became that dominant feature, that dominant watch in presentation and in presence in their market and category. The black and blue GMT is one that works with almost everything. So whether you go with TAG Heuer for your black and blue, or you want to go with Rolex for your Batman, or even if you have that thicker profile, you want something a little bit meatier because you need more presence as a man, you could actually go with something like the James Cameron, which fades from blue to blue, even though it looks black, and it gets you into a different price category. Or if you wanted to go with something like the Audemars Piguet, this Royal Oak Offshore definitely gives you a presentation that is very demanding. It's high powered. It says that I'm a high value man, but it does not speak loudly while doing so. Even though these two give you thicker cases, they actually give you that presence and awareness of saying that it is a nice, firm, bold, strong, masculine piece. Those are things that we're looking for as men when we're actually determining how we want to dress. The other thing that you want to do is you want to be able to have a watch that actually is going to be able to go in your closet and says for all the pieces in your wardrobe that you can dress it up or dress it down. When we're looking at that blue and black always allows that too, because it allows us to have a more comfortable space where we can still do cargo shorts, we can do a t-shirt or jeans. The perfect pair of blue jeans or black jeans is going to go great. But again, it should also work for us during our work life because we want to dress it up or dress it down. So with the black and blue, they pair so well with any gray suit, navy suit, royal blue, black, any of those combinations, when we get into the more tans or browns, we can play around with so many different colors, and these watches will still stand out and stand firm and show that you are a high value man. We want to know what your opinion is, so tell us here at Swiss Watch Expo, out of these four category groups and price ranges, which one speaks more to you?